supposed to do like a group look with my drag family, and I'm also doing this video, so I figured I would just
do all at once?
Yeah.
You're all doing Pokemon?
Yeah.
Are you excited for them?
I don't know, I never played Pokemon. I have no idea what.
Are you like looking up stuff?
No, I'm just gonna do blue. Because blue is water, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a good plan. Hi, and welcome back to Hi, and welcome to episode 16 of MurdersADrag. Welcome back if you've already been here. Welcome if it's your first time here. I tell stories of true crime. I get these names out here. I do my makeup, and that's how it works here. How does it work over there, up in your neck of the woods? This week has been McFrickin' wild. I passed a math class for the first time in 4 years, which is ridiculous because I should have already taken this math credit like 4 years ago. But I finally passed that class. I have been very, very excited about that. And, you know, I'm just booping and grooving. Before I get any further into this episode, I'm gonna say my sources, and I'm gonna get used to saying my sources every week for every video. This week, I got information from avp.org, KSHB News, KMBC News, all news in Kansas City, Missouri, LGBTQNation.com, KansasCity.com, and the obituary for my victim from EliteFuneralChapel.com. I'm looking at a little teeny tiny baby Annabelle doll because my parents got that for me. She's just kind of looking. Eyebrow removal, step 1. This is when normal people would glue down their eyebrows, but since I am not normal people, I just shaved them off because that's what a rational human being does when they don't want to glue down their eyebrows anymore. Get rid of them. This week's case is the tragic murder of Teron Carson, a very talented makeup artist, performer, and pretty much all-around superstar from Kansas City, Missouri. Not a whole lot of people close to him called him Teron. He had a lot of different nicknames, but the most popular one was definitely Rio. All of his friends and members of the community in the area called him Rio. Even his family called him Rio. So I'm gonna call him Rio, because it seems like that's what he would have wanted. Rio was born May 12th, 1993 in Kansas City, Missouri. He went to Northeast High School, where he was very, very popular and very loved. He was actually class president both his junior and senior years of high school, and he was prom king. He was super handsome, had a ton of friends. He was very outgoing, really loved by his community. His parents were always really supportive of his sexuality. And his dad even remembers telling him, "Who you love is nobody's damn business as long as they love you." That's great advice, I'll tell you what. After high school, Rio went on to study at the University of Kansas as well as Penn Valley Community College. Rio was a very sociable person, and he was very well liked by everybody that he met. Like I said, his friends had a ton of different nicknames for him, and I think that comes from his really exuberant personality, where, like, he was just such a character that it was hard not to give him a nickname. Like I said, he was a very talented makeup artist, and he worked at Sephora, slaying mugs all day long. He was very well liked by his coworkers there, and he never left the house with his eyebrows looking anything less than perfect. He also had a second job working at Chipotle in the city. So all in all, Rio really had his ducks in a row. He was set up for a successful life. And he had actually applied for a job to be a nutrition specialist at Kansas University, or the University of Kansas. I think those might just be the same thing. He had actually gotten that job and just never got the chance to get the news that the job was his. There's a pretty large LGBTQ community out in Kansas City, Missouri. Like any bigger city in the U.S., there's always going to be a more concentrated population of LGBTQ people in the bigger cities that have the bars and the gay areas and safe places for us to go. And Rio was very active in his local community. He actually also did drag under the name Vanity Star and performed often at Missy B's, one of the long-standing gay bars in Kansas City. A close friend of his, Brittany Bronson, said she remembers when she had just came out of the closet, she befriended Rio, and his personality and willingness to be himself no matter what really inspired her to come out of the closet full force, come out of her shell full force, and join that community and find her place there. She also talked briefly about how it's common in LGBT communities around the world to have a strange sense of family, maybe not strange sense of family, but a strong sense of family within their community, because so often queer youth are kicked out and disowned and you name it once they come out of the closet. So regardless of your situation at home, most of the time, LGBT people and members of communities will be more than welcoming and accept you in not only as a member of the community, but as a part of a family. And it really is a family. Brianna says that she remembers Rio as a ball of energy and describes him as that. She says, he was a ball of energy, a ball of light, a star in all the essence of what a star is. And if I picked up anything from his personality in my research, that's definitely something that I picked up. He was a star, that's for sure. So all in all, he was just a really great member of his community, a really active member of his community. He inspired all of his friends to be 100% genuine with themselves and not be scared to present who they are to the world as they are. Being as active as he was in the scene and amongst the gay nightlife in Kansas City, it was very common for Rio to go out on the weekends and enjoy the nightlife and go dancing at the clubs in the area. So when he went out on Saturday, March 4th in the evening, it was unlike most other Saturday evenings for him. Rio went out to the club Aura in Kansas City, and he was dancing and partying with friends. Everybody was having a great time. It was a typical Saturday for them. I mean, I know I love my Saturdays on a normal, non-pandemic world when everything's open. You know, they were just kind of kikiing, having a good time. Around 3 a.m., Rio left the bar and hugged his friend Brianna bye, and then walked to a nearby bench to wait for a ride. The bench was on the corner of 39th and Main Street, and shortly after sitting down, a car drove by, and witnesses saw multiple men get out of the vehicle, stop the car, and get out of the vehicle, and then they fired multiple shots directly at Rio and nobody else, and then drove away. Brittany remembers just finishing buckling her seatbelt when she heard shots ring out. And then she said it was kind of a blur of her running out of the car and towards the sound of the shots while she was thinking what friends were at the club with her just then, who she saw leave, who got home safe, who left earlier, all before she got close enough to realize that it was actually her friend, Rio. He got to the hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival. And as soon as that news spread, all of his friends and the community in general suspected that he was targeted. A lot of people shared that belief that Rio was targeted because he lived his life as a visibly queer person. You know, he was in drag often, he wore makeup daily, he was a makeup artist at Sephora after all. Y'all know they gotta do their makeup to the tens when they go to work. They gotta look like supermodels every day. So he was a very visibly queer person, and it would have been easy for him to be targeted if anybody was gonna be targeted. Police came out